Alright, so today we're going to talk about graphs. So here's my table of contents. I'm going to go ahead and add a new column. Right? It should be motion graphs. And then go ahead and put your page number, which is the next clean page you have. Okay, so let's get started. Alright. So we're going to talk about graphs today. We've been doing a lot of equations and solving problems. So let's see how it actually looks on a graph. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is a displacement time graph. Right. This is the one that you saw when we did the bowling ball lab. So I'm going to go ahead and draw here. Nice size graph. Okay. X-axis is going to be time. This is going to be displacement. And then I'm going to go ahead and number it. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to be kilometers. And our time is going to be, let's say, minutes. And let's go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So it's pretty much like a story that can be told with a graph. Right? So something happens at every single point. So let's go ahead and start with, if I drew a graph to look like this. So I'm going to start with a 0. And then I'm going to go to 1 and 2. Then 2, let's do 3 and 0. So 3, 0. 4 and 1. 5 is also 1. And then let's say 6 is back at 2. Alright, so if I drew this, it'd look like this. Then here. Then here. Then here. Then here. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and number each section. Let's say this is part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Okay. Alright, so let's tell a little story about what happens, okay? So, let's start with part 1. What's happening in part 1? Alright, so I'm just going to come up with a story, right? You can come up with your own story, but every single graph, you can look at the slope, look at the displacement, and you can kind of tell what's going on, right? So let's see. Let's say Billy was running to the store, right? Why do I know he's running? So let's actually do the slope for each one first. I think that would be better before I even start on the stories. So let's go ahead and give the slopes at each point. Okay? So I'm going to do the rise of a run here. So what's this? You don't have to actually draw this. I'm just showing you how I'm getting it. So rise is 2, right? This is 2, and the run is 1, right? So it's 2 over 1. The slope here is 2 over 1. Okay. Over here, so let's look at this point to this point, okay? in part 2, it is going 1 down and 2 over, right? So it's going to be 1 down, 2 over. The rise is -1. And the run is 1, 2. Alright, over here, what's the rise and the run? So it's rising by 1 and running by 1. So it's going to be 1 over 1. What about here? Well, there is no rise, right? So if it's not rising anywhere, then it's going to be 0. But there's still a run, right? It's running 1. If you still have problems with slope, please let me know. Right, and then let's go ahead and do the last one. We are rising and running how much? Rise by 1, run by 1. Okay, so these are our slopes. So let's go ahead and go back to the story. Alright, let's see what's happening here. Say Billy is running to the store. Right, how do I know he's running? Right, so first of all, he's displaced. So 0 would be his home, right? Let's say Billy is going to the store. Okay, from here to here, he's running, right? Because it's 2 over 1. It is 2, right? You see how steep this is? It's very steep, right? So I could say he's running, right? So Billy runs. I don't think he can run kilometers per minute, but you know, let's just say, for the sake of the story, he's running to the store, right? He's gonna run to the store. Okay, at 2 kilometers per minute. Okay, right here, what happens when he gets to the 2 kilometer mark? You see how he goes back to 0? That doesn't mean that he's slowing down. Look at what it's actually saying. He is not slowing down. He's actually, remember, displacement is how far you are from the start, right? He's actually going back to where he started. Okay? So let's say right here, he realizes, wait, I forgot money. I can't buy what I want to buy. So at part 2, from here to here, Billy realized he forgot his money. But look, does he run back home? No, right? He does not run. Ooh. That should be 2. Okay. That should be 2. Alright, so he doesn't run like he did earlier, right? You see how it's not as steep? Right? The slope is only 1, -1, right? So Billy actually walks home. But this time, Billy walks back home. Okay? Because he went from here back to 0. Okay? Next, 3. Okay? So now he got his money, right, at home. 0 is at home, right? We chose our starting point as 0. That's home. So now he's going to start going back towards the store. But the store is here, right? Did he get back to the store yet? No, he didn't. Right? The store is here. Right? At 2. he stops before then, right? So Billy, and let's see if you understand what's going on. Did he run back to the store or did he walk? If you said he walked, you're correct, right? Because the slope here is 1. So Billy walks back towards the store at 1 kilometer per minute. That's still crazy fast. He didn't actually like walk that fast, right? Okay. So then something happens here at 4. What happens at 4? Wait, he's at the 1 kilometer mark for a whole minute. What does that mean? That means he didn't even move, right? For this whole minute, he was at the 1 kilometer mark, right? So, at 4, see, that's at 1 kilometer. On his way to the store, he, I don't know, sees a dog and stops to play with it for how long? A whole minute, right? A whole minute. Okay. And then after he's done playing with the dog, what does he do? He walks the rest of the way back to the store. See how the store is right here? Okay. So at 5, after playing with the dog, Billy, does he walk or run? If you said walk, you are correct, right? Because again, it's 1 kilometer per minute. Billy walks 1 kilometer per minute back to the store. Okay? I know this is a really long video, but I'm going to go ahead and go over everything that we just talked about one last time. So let's see if this makes sense. Step 1, right here. Billy runs to the store. His slope is 2, so he runs at 2 kilometers per minute. Next, he stops at the store, right? Because this is where the store is, at 2. Let's just say the store is at 2. He forgot his money. So what does he have to do? He walks back to 0, which is his home. So Billy realized he forgot his money, but this time Billy walks back home. He's not slowing down, right? He's just walking backwards, back to 0. 3, Billy walks back towards the store. See, he's going back towards the 2. Let's say 2 is where the store is, right? Walks back towards the store at 1 kilometer per minute. That's our slope. Okay? Alright, next. On his way to the store, he sees a dog and stops to play with it for a whole minute. Right here, at 4, right? He sees a dog, he's not moving, he's just sitting there playing with it. And then after he's bored with the dog, what happens? After playing with the dog, Billy walks 1 kilometer per minute back to the store. So here, he's done playing, 1 whole minute. He walks back to the store, which is where he was over here. Okay?